All right, we got Jordan Malone, the new outside linebackers coach here after practice. Coach, how's it going as you get towards the end of spring?
It's getting better. All right, that's the biggest thing, right? When you got a new system for a bunch of new guys, some young guys too at that, it's getting better and better. And that's all we're asking. We're asking to get 1% better each and every day. So you're starting to see a little bit more of the comfortability, the confidence in the system. So again, that's all we've been asking those guys to do, and you're starting to see it, day by day. That's all we ask for them to do.
Yeah, and I mean, you're new to the staff here. What's the adjustment to North Texas been like for you?
Texas, right? It's hot first and foremost, but the weather's been very, very crazy. But I've been familiar with some of the guys, with a lot of the offensive guys coming into it. So defensively, the biggest adjustment been for me is the schematics. It's a different scheme than what I've been used to in the past. I think when it comes to transition, it's all about the people. And so the coaches and the players have been great with me. Teaching me the ropes, teaching me where to go, teaching me where to eat, where to look for a house, all those positive things. So the transition's been pretty good, just getting used to everything. But, even I'm getting comfortable just like the guys.
You mentioned the new scheme. How do the players that you have fit in that scheme?
I think the biggest thing that the scheme allows them to do multiple things. Like, for instance, with the nickels, it allows our nickels are very versatile when it comes to some bigger body guys that can blitz, that can cover, that can play in the box. The schematics allow them to kind of really showcase all that. And then with our safeties too, whether it's field, whether it's boundary, it just gives each guy who has some versatility to be able to show a multitude of skills. So I think the scheme fits our guys pretty good because we're pretty athletic. We have some size too at nickel. So the things that we ask them to do, I think, is very complementary to the skills that they possess.
Have some guys with this experience coming back. Does that help you guys as you go through a bit of a transition here?
Yeah, it helps in a couple of different ways, right? Does it help when it comes to, really, truly, fully understanding the schematic of the defense? But what it does help with is that experience is going to help those guys adjust to change. And adjusting to change is one of the hardest things when it comes to transition. So, those experienced guys are picking up that defense pretty fast, and what they're doing is just kind of using their expertise and their experience to pass on to the younger guys to help them come along in the schematics a little bit faster. So, that's more what they're doing. Their leadership, from experience has been the biggest positive, but they're all learning a new scheme. So, but we are utilizing those things and allowing those guys to, take ownership of the defense, take ownership of their defensive teammates, and utilize that. Quinn, has been very, very consistent. I think that's one of the things that you really notice about him right away, and he's still young. EJ and Will, having some experience. Will been, many different places. He's kind of the older guy in that group that's experienced a lot of different schemes. So I think, he brings a multitude of things there. All right. And then BJ, he's coming along and he's pushing Quinn every play. All right, and they're doing a good job of complimenting each other and pushing each other to get better. So, those guys in that secondary have really, started to push forward. Now we just need some of those younger guys to come provide a little bit more depth and keep pushing along.
Yeah, I know this really isn't your spot there, but you lose Chavez Brown, who played a little bit in the middle last year and really seemed to be coming on. Where do you guys turn in the middle?
College football is an ever-going, changing thing. There's still another window. But the thing is, the only thing that you can depend on are the ones that are here. And so we turn to the next man up. And that's the philosophy, that's the mindset that we have. And that's why we coach every player like they're a shoestring away from playing. Whether you play 100 snaps or you play no snaps, that's one vow we have to those guys that we're going to give them everything that we have. So, it's really just, turning to the next man up that's here until there's somebody else that's here. If there's not, then you got to depend on what you have. So, that's been the biggest focus of who to turn when you lose a player like that. Again, it's the focus, the energy on the players that's in this building that's giving it 100% every day.
Yeah, and Coach mentioned that one of the key focuses here at the end of the season is just to make more plays defensively, make more game-changing type plays. You see the guys with the ability to do that in your group?
Yes. And it's about getting it consistent, right? So, everybody wants to go make plays. So when you want to really, truly go make plays, sometimes you chase plays. So we've been harping on our guys to just do their 1/11th and do what we're asking you to do in the scheme, and the plays will come to you and make the play that comes to you. So, we're seeing some guys make some plays, but some of the plays they haven't made is because they're chasing the play. So It's focusing on, making your play more than just making a play. So that's what we have seen. Those guys just really focused on doing their 111th.
And who are some of those guys that have kind of stood out for you as you've gone through spring?
Both of those interior backers, I mean, they've been doing a good job of really shoring us up in the run. Pass game wise on the outside, Coach Wilson's done a great job with those corners. Again, our whole thing is limit the explosive plays, and that's what we got to really get back to. But it's a collective group effort of who's really been making the plays, and really is one make a play, 11 others make a play. So it's been a collective group.
So who are those two guys in the middle that have stood out?
Oh, when you're training, that you see it all day, and they're two big leaders for our team. All right, so you see them, pushing us when we're doing bad. You see them cheering on others when other people are making the play. But those two guys are, again, they kind of make this thing go, and it's fun watching them play.
All right, Quentin, we're getting a little deeper, towards the end of spring. I mean, how do you think it's going?
I think it's going really good, especially Coach Cassidy's just developing us and getting us comfortable with this new system and just helping us set up plays.
How have you progressed throughout the spring?
I think I progressed pretty good, especially never playing safety before last year, getting the boundary safety, then this year playing nickel and a little bit of boundary safety. So making that switch from about 10 yards deep to 5, I'm having to get a little used to it, but I'm liking it a lot now.
Coach mentioned that you've really come along here this spring. Do you feel yourself just getting more comfortable as you go along?
Most definitely. Like last year, a few weeks ago, not nowhere near as comfortable playing about 5 yards off, but I can just tell after each practice, I'll just get more and more comfortable playing 5 yards off and actually get a little physical.
You've had quite the journey in your career. You came here as a receiver, went to safety, got a lot of time. Now potentially you're moving to another spot. How have you been able to develop along the way?
Just got to be coachable and just showing my versatility that I can just do almost everything on the field. And coaches that have been coaching me along the way have been helping me a lot with that too.
Coach mentioned that because you're a little bit of a bigger guy, that maybe you're a good fit a little bit closer to the ball. Do you feel like you're making that adjustment to being more of a physical player, playing a little bit more against the run?
I just feel like it just happens. Like, just get put in situations where I got to go fit in the box, and I just got to just go make that play.
Have you really enjoyed, just the way this has gone for you?
Yeah, most definitely. Especially, when I first got here, never played in this position before, I didn't know what to think. I thought it was going to be straight special teams guy. All of a sudden, threw me in against Wyoming last year. No, against Texas Tech last year, and then just got more and more comfortable and started adapting a little bit more to that safety position.
Well, you walked on, correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever thought back a little bit as you get a little bit deeper into your career about how well this has gone and how much you've progressed over that time?
Actually, this past weekend, I was just thinking about, I'm just blessed to be in this position right now, especially starting off as a walk-on, never playing, and then just developing myself into being a scholarship guy and being in the rotation, just blessed.
What's helped you along that a lot of ways? The teammates, coach, what's helped you get to this point?
Really just the entire staff over there and all my teammates, make sure I don't get too down, make sure I don't get too high, and just making sure that don't let one thing define me.
What was your initial thought when they told you, hey, we think defense might be the best fit?
I was like, at the time, I just kind of set on play receiver, but when they told me here, I was like, I want to be Division I football player, and that's the first step. So it's like, I'll make the switch and see how it goes.
What was it that attracted you to this place to walk on?
Coming out of high school, I didn't have too many offers, just small D2 schools, and then had A&M Commerce, not East Texas A&M, wanted me to play running back there and walk on there. I was like, man, this is the closest thing to high Division I football I can get, and that's what I wanted to be part of.
This place has a pretty good track record with walk-ons. Was that something you knew before you came in, or did you learn about it when you got?
A little bit, because Coach Voda, he was the one that kind of recruited me to come here, and he was just talking about all the walk-on guys that came through and developed themselves into being a scholarship player, like Alfie, Xavier Katai, and just those guys. And now Drew Messmaker, me and him both came at the same time, both being walk-ons, and develop ourselves into being a scholarship guy now.
You mentioned Coach Cassidy. You know, he's new to the staff this year and coming in a pretty big role running this defense. What's he been like to play for?
Man, he's smart, like real smart, and he plays real physical football. And we're going to be the aggressor in every single game that we play, and we're not going to be playing past that at all. So that's what I really like about him.
What's he like personally?
I mean, still just another smart guy, and you can relate to him. Maybe go out on the golf course every once in a while with him, and just enjoy spending time with him. And I had to whip up on him like bowl one time when I went out with the recruits.
No, that must have been fun.
Yeah,
So you feel like this defense is progressing? I mean, the hope heading into this next year is to switch to a new scheme and the addition of some key players are going to make you guys dramatically better. Do you feel like you guys can be dramatically better this next year?
most definitely. Like you can just see it out here. Like, I mean, last year, like we were real on and off every single practice, but this year we're setting the standard and just trying to be dominant in everything we're going through, and that's what we've been showing.
Anybody really stand out to you as you go through spring?
The defense,
Yeah.
Trey Fields, man, he's dog. And a few of the corners like Dave Fisher, Davian Armstead, and Brian Nelson, another returner, just straight dogs.
You mentioned some of those Sam Houston guys that came over. You feel like that core of guys that came over from Sam Houston with the staff can really make a difference, and you guys head into this.
So yes, most definitely, because they've already got to the system and they're real comfortable with it, and they can even help the guys around them and help us out a little bit.
All right, cool. Good. Well, thanks.